Welcome to the Fire Department Training Network. My name is Jim McCormick, and I want to take a few minutes to give you a walking tour of the National Fireground Training Academy. We started building in 2001, and up to this point we've developed 15 live fire training props where we can create some of the most realistic fireground training conditions that equal what we would deal with when we go to fires on the street. So this is building one, the first building that we built. It's become a real good scenario-based building where we can do private dwellings, multiple dwellings, mixed-use occupancies. We can handle a lot of skills in here, but we can also handle large-scale responses with multiple companies. We can do individual hose stretches, searches, flat roof or peaked roof operations on this, and we have burn units on the back of it to fill it full of real live smoke and heat, so guys get the true appreciation of what it would be like going into a larger occupancy building. So this is our forcible entry building. It's been a big hit with a lot of the students. What we do in here is really focus on conventional inward and outward swinging forcible entry with the irons. Inside there's 4 inward swinging doors, left hand, right hand, and 4 outward swinging doors, left hand, right hand. In a typical class, students will force as a team at least 64 doors, and the last 16 are under live heat and smoke conditions, so they really have to hone in on those skills when they can't see. It's a great prop. It's added a true dimension to forcible entry training. So over the last year or so, we've really tried to enhance the conventional forcible entry, and carriage bolts are a real big deal with a lot of people, so we added these carriage bolt props. They're nothing fancy, but they do allow guys to get a true appreciation of what it takes to get that outward swinging door set up if there's additional features on it that prevent them from getting in. So the carriage bolts have been a big hit. There's plenty of them here for students to practice multiple times to get that technique down. So with most of our training, we start with the basics in an environment where they can really hone in on the skill. And this is our roof prop. We have both a peaked roof with a couple of pitches and a flat roof prop in the back where they practice all those skills, saw techniques, chopping techniques here, and then we start to introduce elevation, fake smoke, and then real live smoke and heat conditions coming through the vent holes. It's been a great confidence builder before they get up in an elevated environment and actually perform the skill during scenarios and during live fire skill stations. So this is our private dwelling. We use it as a ranch layout, but it also has a basement inside. We're adding to it, as you can see, we're adding an attic prop, which has been requested by a lot of the students to be able to deal with attic fires. We do a lot of search skills in here, we do a lot of basement skills inside, and it really shines during scenarios where the response comes in and they have to then go put the skills that they've learned in other props to use during a live fire event here at a private dwelling. So this is a newly constructed prop or repurposed prop. It was our commercial taxpayer with an auto body shop below and 2 apartments upstairs. We've added to it now, so we have 6 stories, and it's now our fully functional high-rise prop with a working standpipe inside. We can have fires on all the different floors. We have a combination of drywall-based fires for overhaul and our normal flashover type fires where we can get real spectacular fires in a real short period of time and then reset them in about 20 minutes and do them again. 6 stories inside with stairs. We can use the standpipe or not use the standpipe, so you really can get any variation of those upper floor fires in this building. So this is our apartment building / hotel. We can also use it for single room occupancies where guys can go inside, force multiple doors, search multiple rooms and or apartments inside the building. A couple pieces of OSB will change this to 2 occupancies where 1 entrance is in the front and 1 entrance is in the rear. We have live ventilation that occurs in here and also live forcible entry props inside. So it really truly is one of those responses you would encounter on the street. So this has become a real popular prop right here. We use it for responses, but we call it the Hoarder Prop. A lot of hoarder fires are being encountered nowadays with people, and really there's not much training to show them how to deal with it. So we have two sides to this. We can do a truck company side where they're searching in real difficult hoarder conditions, or an engine company side where they're trying to advance through those conditions as well. When we light fire in the back, it is realistic, and they have to deal with moving all the obstacles in order to make the push to get that fire or to find the victim. We also have a flat roof prop over the top to really stress coordinated fire attack, where that vent actually helps the engine company make their push into the building. We call this the engine prop. We really try to focus on line advancement and nozzle work inside. There's multiple rooms inside where the engine company can go in and try to hit off-room fires as they make their push inside. They can make their way also to the stairs. We have both upstairs fires inside, a back room fire and a front room fire with a 180-degree turn. If we go around to the back, we enter from the back and practice basement fire skills before we go into the scenarios in the ranch that we talked about a little while ago. This is the basement side of the engine prop, where companies stage up here to try and learn how to make that push down a set of basement stairs. During the evolutions of this skill, the truck company is also dealing with removing a victim at the same time. Very congested, tight staircase, conditions that we encounter all the time on the street, and you can really perfect that skill and learn how to deal with it here in training. So this is a strip mall. We have 3 stores. It can be 2 stores, it could be 1 store. We can change the configuration just by opening or closing the container doors. We have a live roof prop on the back where there's true ventilation going on as they're stretching 2.5-inch lines in here to either one of the fires. We sometimes have multiple occupancy fires in here, just like a typical strip mall where you would have a fire that would extend through the roof and end up in another store on the end. This is one of our most recent additions to the training center. It's a multi-use building, but it's also separate buildings that we can use. We do a lot of individual skills, survival, RIT, hose stretches, search, all that in this building. We have 4 big burn rooms in the back that can fill the entire complex full of heat and smoke, so it's real difficult for guys to get moving inside. We've just started adding a couple of new peaked roof props that will allow us to do tower ventilation, aerial ventilation, and ground ladder ventilation, in addition to the other skills going on inside. It also acts as a scenario building with multiple occupancies and addresses, so during our scenario classes, people have to respond different directions because there may be multiple fires going on in the complex at the same time. This is another prop that we use. We call it the search prop, but once again, it's multifunctional for engine company work and truck company work. What we do in here during a lot of classes is some ground level VES under live fire conditions, and also just room searches through a front door. These kind of add to some of the other props around where we can do VES off a second floor with ground ladders, or searches on multiple floors under live fire and heat conditions. So this is our logistics shop. It's really the backbone of the entire training center, and it's manned by an army of people that do nothing but keep everybody else learning on the outside in the props. Last week we had a class here. The guys inside filled 3,700 air cylinders in 3 days. They just kept going non-stop. Inside, not only logistics for the Fireground training, it's a complete design shop to keep the props maintained and to build new props. Takes a lot to keep it running, and it all starts inside this building. So this is our flashover fire behavior prop in its easiest condition or state, but we do so many skills in this. We do forcible entry, we do VES, we do nozzle technique, RIT operations under fire. This small single container can really set the foundation for solid skills on the Fireground, and certainly all the other props we have here at the National Fireground Training Academy. Thanks for spending some time with us at the National Fireground Training Academy. If there's anything we can do to help you improve your Fireground performance, look us up, fttraining.com.